and the conversation dies
immediately.
Now that we're recording, we have nothing to say.
It's going to be a quick one, folks.
What a great episode. See ya.
Hold on, I haven't opened my notes or anything
now
yet.
recording, and it just stopped.
All right, Boomer. All right, Boomer. Lead us in.
Fuck.
More than one.
Ellipsis.
He's not a boomer.
I'm not a boomer, man.
He is giving a verbal ellipsis right now with his silence.
Well, I haven't opened the notes or
A
anything
verbal
yet.
ellipsis.
I have to try to find. You know what I need is. I need the. I need the actual info about this stupid fucking ship.
Riveting start here, guys.
All right.
What ship?
The
Oh,
frog.
never
Showing
mind.
some words.
Welcome. All
I'm
right.
green with envy.
Hey, everybody. Guess what? It rained here today, so I'm not going to complain.
Eh.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
welcome to the Loose Screws podcast. It's the 290th episode for the 26th June in 2025.
33.
11.
And it's full
Scene.
house. Exit.
Sorry.
And it's a
exit
full house
phase.
tonight. Starting from the top, we have Commander Baromir,
Alphabetical order. Hello. Nice to see you guys. Hello. Hi.
Commander Chig,
Hello.
Commander Daxi Hot Wheels Jones,
That's my name.
Commander Me, Commander Lark Shadow,
I'm eating a pickle.
you and every toddler, am I right? High five.
I like turtles.
And Commander Oblivious.
It ain't easy being green.
Jesus Christ.
Think there'll be a green paint job?
Welcome to this
I
episode
hope
of
so.
Frog
It's
Talk.
gotta be.
I quit.
Uninstall.
Oh, frick.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go around. Let's go around. What's going on? What's new in the world of Baromir?
Let's see. I'll keep it short. We got a lot of people on today. I bought from a coworker. So a coworker walks in the other day, says, "Does anybody want a 3080?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" So he said, "$350. You get a 3080 for it's an EVGA for the Win edition, which means it's a little bit brighter. It has some more colors on it. I believe it also has a couple of extra gigs of RAM. This one specifically, I bought it. I've been using it. It's fantastic. For the first time in my PC gaming career, I'm not bottlenecked by my CPU or my GPU in like most titles.
Nice.
On like native resolution and ultra settings. So I'm so happy. Just such a happy boy.
Done the VR yet?
I've done a little bit of VR and Elite. It's so much smoother. My biggest issue with VR and Elite, honestly, is I need to hardwire my PC. I've been getting away with it being wireless for a long time, and then VR came into my life, and it's untenable having it wireless. Untenable.
Dude, isn't Elite a beautiful game with actual hardware that can run it?
You know what? When you wake up in the station and you come up the lift and there's just like that steam or smoke or whatever volumetric particles they've got going on, it is beautiful.
Yeah,
it is beautiful.
Yep.
They did great with it. But I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk because that's what you do. You go find the prettiest game out there you have, I guess, and play it a lot. And it's great. It's fantastic. In Elite, I haven't done a whole bunch, but I have participated in the CG. Enjoyable. I'm in a pretty much completely-ish engineered Frag Mamba with Cytos, and I don't like Cytos on the Frag Mamba because the hardpoint placement is dumb. real stupid on the Mamba. So gimbals are preferred for, I think, for a thermal. I mean, to be fair,
The
I'm
placement
right up.
is fine. You're just complaining that it's not a ship that is going to hug a target.
It definitely doesn't hug. It's
You don't
definitely
do damage
a
over
jousting.
time guns. Yeah, you don't do
Yeah.
damage over time guns on a Mamba unless they're long range.
Definitely a jousting ship. It's a lot of fun. Honestly, most of the time I'm just right up. I'm right up in there, right up in that ship. So
Right up in there.
doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter.
I think the size ones are in a good place on that. Anyway, whatever. You talked shit about the Mamba, so
It's just the Cytos don't know where they're going anyway. You got to, like I said, you just got to
it's
get
the
right up on
wrong
it, guys.
gun for that ship.
All right, well, we'll discuss it later. Maybe, probably
Okay.
not. Let's see, Chig, what's going on with you, my man?
I'm here, ready to talk about, I don't know, oversized amphibians and
I already quit. I can't quit again.
I know. I find it funny. We're talking before the show. There's so many of us here. Let's be careful to not talk over each other. And then the show starts and nobody talked because nobody wanted to talk over each other. That was a very awesomely awkward opening we had there.
Most loose screws thing ever.
Way too meta.
And
It was in the
but
name
I-
of politeness.
I really felt like the finger was being pointed at me. So I'll try to just only talk when spoken to because I talk too much.
Only speak when spoken to.
Make sure you
Actually,
raise your
It's
hand.
a very
So-
Midwest thing. I too sat at the kids' table when I was a kid. Ugh. Am I next?
Well, you
Yeah,
started
say go.
talking over
Is
him.
it
You might as
all
well.
Hey, I participated in the CG2 and it is exactly what I wanted PowerPlay to be. I got blown up and I had a ton of fun and it refreshed just how many things you need to remember in this game and how your tactics cannot always be the same and how if you're a guy like me who never switches his guns on any ship, you need to remember that other people do, and you have to adapt accordingly. So if you are plasma accelerators versus frag cannons, you should not be jousting because that's that much more opportunity for them to hose you. I was accompanied by the one and only Commander Oblivious, who was zero help whatsoever because lo and behold, Cyto scramblers don't do anything once shields are down.
Wait, who did
So-
you think I was helping?
Oh, that's why. That's why I lost. Yeah, hack. Oh, the other thing I appreciated, they picked a system. I think there was only like one high conflict zone. Did you guys notice this? Did anyone notice this?
Was there just one? I thought
did.
there was
I think
two.
it was just.
There was a
the-
few
the-
mediums.
The point is that it was low, thereby increasing the chance that we're going to run into each other. So I got blowed up. I got in system chat, and instead of the usual shit talk, I typed GG, which is an annoyingly young person phrase, but I realized that it would be universally understood. So I typed GG like a young person, and that's
Okay,
what
hold on,
they said
Dexy,
they got
hold
back.
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. GG is not a young person's thing. That has existed since Counter-Strike 1.2. Carry on.
Well,
Rats.
that is something that I would have never known in a million years. So
Bogey.
it was fun. Hell of a lot of fun. And no new mysterious biblical childhood illnesses have cropped up in my life the past week. So that's a bonus too.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. So what about you, Trax? I'll go back to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, the heat dome of North America continues, but this afternoon the threats of thunderstorms every day this week finally paid off and it actually rained. So we might have a slightly better time. But yeah, it's been absolutely horrible. I've been waking up very early to walk the dogs before it gets any worse. But you know,
What's Ohio heat, by the way?
it
What's
is
bad for you guys?
like overnight the low was like 75 Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
So it never
Mhm.
cools off as much as like
Mm.
where I would keep my house. that makes it pretty uncomfortable. It was like high 90s in the day,
Yeah.
actual temp, and
Mhm.
just no rain. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah, and I'm north of you, and it was hotter than hell all week. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's terrible. So that's good. The house is on the market, and so we're kind of
Woohoo!
on our heels, ready to sprint anytime somebody schedules a showing, ready to kind of button the place up and put a bow on it and skedaddle out the door. But I'm disappearing this weekend. In fact, tomorrow morning, we're dropping the dogs off at a sitter and taking off for the weekend. Some friends are getting married up in Cleveland. Speaking of Cleveland. And so I'll be
ScrewCon.
there for a couple of days.
ScrewCon.
And yeah, so ScrewCon 2025 is about to go down in Cleveland.
Hell yeah. They're going to regret inviting you.
Assuming at somebody you don't know's wedding, apparently.
Perfect.
And
Mhm.
so that's my. And I played a significant amount of Elite. Played in that there CG. It was fun, losing by an order of magnitude to the Emperor. But yeah, actually, I think since last episode, I don't think I actually played at the right times because I didn't encounter any more opponents. One friendly, that's all I saw after that. But it was anyway. It was fun. And then last night I went and since it was ending anyway, I noticed a contested power play system within one jump of my Cobra, and it had conflict zones in it. Power conflict zones. Hooray! But before you get too excited, I will confirm that yes, they did not work unless I went to solo mode.
Rip.
So all the bugs still in full fucking effect, and power CZs. Hold on, let me scroll over to the cycle. We are cycle 35, 35 weeks, and it hasn't worked right for even 1 week. Okay, so anyway, onward. And then yesterday I saw a video about a giant frog. Lark Shadow, what's new with you?
I have been out a few weeks because we have been moving into our first house that we bought. And we are all settled in,
Yay.
but not all the way unpacked
Hooray.
yet. Because unpacking sucks just as much as packing does, as it turns out.
Sometimes more.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to stay organized.
Unpacking
And-
is something that has to take place within 2 weeks of moving in, or those boxes will stay packed for the next 10 years.
Right.
100%.
Yep.
That's why we've been so anal about it, and I haven't been around. I'm working on fixing the yard because it's a travesty. I've got 2 of 4 sprinklers repaired so far. The day we moved in, I freaking fixed the garage and several other things that weren't, the garage door and several other things that weren't working at all. And oh gosh, I love being in a house. And then this weekend, I'm probably going to be away, but not because of anything fun. It's because this is the last weekend we have to clean the old rental so it can go back on the market.
Yuck.
But in game, every time I've been able to steal an hour or two, I have gone into Elite because this CG was just so dang much fun. I had a little bit of salt at the beginning of it, but it turned out my salt was just poor sportsmanship, and so I'm trying to do better about that. There was a whole thing. Chicken tracks, though.
We told everybody.
Yeah, basically. And honestly, I've been having a blast doing PvP, both in and out of conflict zones. And it's just been a lot of fun. I've destroyed 3 anacondas, 2 Cobra Mark 5s, a Cobra Mark 3, a cutter, and couldn't manage to destroy 1 single Corsair. So Corsair is still the best ship.
How did the Type 10 do?
Nobody, and I mean nobody except the people that were running like straight up PvP Enforcer Ganker style builds was ready for my G5 turrets on my Type 10, and it was freaking hilarious every time.
Nobody ever will be.
Nope, they're like, oh, Type 10, that should be easy. Why am I dying every single time? Oh, it's glorious. I still love that chip. Probably going to replace it with a Panther Clipper. Oblivious, how are you?
Well, pretty cool event this afternoon. My wife, who was outside doing some yard work, she comes in and she goes, "Did you hear that?" No, I didn't hear anything. What are you talking about? She said, "I heard what sounded like an explosion and this long rumbling afterwards, and I felt like I felt some shaking. You didn't feel? No, I didn't feel anything." And then social media starts lighting up. People said, "Did you see that? Did you see that fireball in the sky? Did you see the fireball in the sky?" So 40 miles to the east of us, it's actually a meteorite. It had come down. There's a lot of desk cameras from people's dash cams where you saw the meteor go down.
Cool.
And
Wow.
yeah, meteorite, because now there's pictures out there of it where it went through this guy's roof and created a little bit
Oh, no.
larger than a quarter hole through his ceiling,
way.
and then embedded into his hardwood floor.
No
What
way.
state are you in?
Little
I
piece
want to
left.
find this.
No way. That's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And the early report is that it completely obliterated all the nuclear manufacturing that was going on up there. No, that's not serious, but the meteor was serious. And let's see, in game. Well, I did the CG like everyone was talking about, but we also had another CQC meetup Sunday night.
Oh yeah, I forgot
And
about that.
a full group. We managed to max out a death match. Had 8 players. We had some commanders from Astlings, Feet Pick, Angels Discord join us, and I thought it was pretty successful. We did have a couple of glitches, but for the most part, everybody got some playtime in, and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I
I've
don't
got
think
another
anybody
one.
had to sit out more than one match.
Yep. I think that was about it. Sit out one, and then you would get in. Let's see. Then somebody made a video of it, and I'm highlighted in it much more than I wanted to be highlighted in, and always exploding. So that was a lot of fun. So there's another match scheduled. Well, there's 2 scheduled. I've scheduled one for tomorrow to overlap with Ashling's Angels. But we're always getting some.
That's likely today for you, listener, by the way.
Yeah, true. For Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It may get canceled, at least on our side, because we're getting some fallout. But we also have a Sunday match scheduled for 8:30 Eastern. So come out and join us. It's a lot of fun.
CQC is fun.
That's
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
Nice.
it. I just realized that
sounds
my pre-engineered seeker missiles are in the game now.
They're
So I
in your
went-
inventory.
Oh.
Went and transferred those into my carrier here. Yeah, I mean the sturdy drops the heat load a little bit too, which is nice. Missiles are pretty hot. You're usually not firing them that fast, so it's usually not that big a deal. But
I put rapid fire on some missiles once, and yeah, that will heat you up almost as fast as a beam laser.
but doesn't rapid drop? Well, rapid drops distro draw, not heat load, right? So that didn't matter because
Correct.
missiles don't draw any distro. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Anyway,
something about a rocket being against your ship while it's firing away from you. I don't know. It's weird.
well, anyway, they exist. I haven't used them yet. Anybody tried them?
No.
No.
I'm logging in to see if I got them.
I still kind of feel like the armor piercing is probably the most interesting part of this, not the FSD interrupt, but whatever. Anyway, it didn't seem to be the uproar that I was afraid it was going to be. Probably because I'm not wrong.
You're never wrong, Drax.
Well, it's
frustrating.
happened
It's
before.
frustrating. I don't know if it has.
I'm usually at least I'm truth adjacent. as we'll see
truth.
later. As we'll see later in discussion, won't we?
So, how about we do a squad update?
Oh, sure, Chad, go. That's a great
Squadron
idea.
update.
I had sound effect version of Chig queued up. Squad update, everybody. Is this
I was
notes
so
real?
confused.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go now or not.
You should do it. You should go.
Okay,
You
I'll
should-
go. All right. Well, it's been exactly 1 week since anyone said on this weekly podcast that the BGS is broken. However,
Who's gonna say it?
however, we still have Harris Hospital, so in Miola, so we've managed to maintain it. That's good news. It's the reason that Commander Bloomingwind is not on this podcast. It seems like the previous hospital administration left that place in quite a bit of a mess, and Bloomingwind is very busy cleaning it up. He was last seen roaming the hallways, mumbling something about control of the autopen.
Some doctor
see.
somewhere is laughing their head off.
We did win back LTT 10482, which is a system that we lost back in previous new ADN wars a while back. And along those lines of reclaiming some old territory, I'm going to call it Kaupatak. That sounds good to me. That war kicks off by the time you're listening to this podcast. We would like to win that one. And let's see. Loose screws. Our bubble right now consists of 248 star systems. We're in control of 70 of them. That's up 2 systems since the last time I reported on this. We're also in control of 192 stations, 329 settlements, and 95 installations. And most of them, we didn't do anything to gain them. But anyway, if you want to know more about this, we've got a couple of Discord channels you can come talk to us about. We've got standing orders out there. They're pretty quiet these days. We've given up on trying to keep out of control systems from overheating. We've given up on that. But we will point out the various wars that we want to go after or systems we want to reclaim. And you can talk about it on the Loose Screws faction channel. That's the squad update.
I think we should go with Kaupatak.
Kaupatak?
Kaupatak.
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 Kaupatak. Kaupatak.
Kaupatak.
This is the short PP report.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
It's average, so get your facts straight.
Did that feel longer this week? I don't know why.
No,
No,
shorter
it's
to
still
me.
exactly the same average to short size.
Kaupatak.
That was a funny one.
Well, hey,
It really
welcome to
depends on if you're
Cycle.
using a tape measure from the dollar store or not, though.
Mm. Mm. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Good.
Welcome to Cycle 35, folks, where the hoagies are fresh. And
I don't know what that means.
And the chittum is
What?
hot.
Chimeth. And the
Chimeth.
Chimeth is hot.
Chimeth is hot. Guys,
Is that
look
an
it up.
Arizona thing? I don't know
Chimeth
what's
on a
going on.
stick.
Yeah.
I don't freaking know.
It was an inside joke. Maybe you'll be part of one someday.
Yeah, one of these days. It was an inside joke for the folks that were here before us on Turtle Island. Cycle 35. Welcome to it. It's now.
Is there a
Where
Turtle
are we?
Island in Cleveland? I'm so confused.
More amphibian talk.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. We live on Frog Island. Okay. So a few weeks ago, we had a conversation about a big data exploit from settlements. Talked about since then, some systems have been returned. Last week, Sol and Alpha Centauri were returned after the exploit. Data has been turned off right now. If you're going for settlement data to undermine or to reinforce or to acquire, that's still disabled. No
Good.
word on any of that right now. So there's a few camps. I feel like either FDev knows exactly what's going on and they're just like trying to figure out the best thing to do, or they have no clue how it happened and they just have it turned off.
Or it's average.
Good. Or 3, they just turned it off and they don't care to deal with it. It's a P3 in their ticket queue, and they'll get to it when they get to it. The one was for you, Lark. So it's still there. More systems have been returned today. So I guess everybody's whole now. Everybody's super happy except for Torval, because I guess Torval had a system called, I think it was like Lupic or Lupic or something like that. And I guess it's a Delane stronghold today. And that's not how that's supposed to work. It was theirs 3 weeks ago. Anyways, it'll all get figured out. It's good. Left dev's doing their best. And that's it.
Left dev?
Left dev.
Left dev?
Left dev.
Left dev.
That's what you said.
Left
Sounded
dev.
like.
All right. Let's
Left
keep
dev.
it. We'll fix it in post.
Is it like lieutenant?
Lieutenant?
It's exactly like lieutenant.
How do you
Please
spell that?
report to Left Dev headquarters.
Oh, should we do some rankings? There's been a little movement.
Hit me. I got it on the
Hit me.
screen.
All right, let's go from the bottom up. Zemina Torval has gained let's see, some systems. Actually, quite a few systems this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 20 systems for Zemina Torval.
What?
Do we do one of these? Yeah, I know, right? Do one of these
If
show
I
that?
mouse over that, do I see the difference?
No, I'm seeing like
It doesn't show difference from last week. It just shows that it's up.
it does show this up, but I've got like 3 other screens open.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like day trading
Holy
PowerPoints.
Day trading.
You should hear him podcast when he's not day trading on the side.
Oh God. Oh boy. See, okay, Torval may have gained 23 systems if what I'm looking at is accurate.
Who's playing for Torval?
Now, I don't know, to be fair. I don't think any of the systems that were
Is
returned.
this real life?
I think this is real. I think this is real.
There's a human being logging into this game to play for Zemina Torval. That blows my mind.
At least.
Well, think of it this way. What if our faction was in the heart of Zemina Torval's? No, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
We would have gone full Black
We'd have
Flag and
we'd have
burned the place down.
An exodus anywhere else. Either that
I
or
love
I
that.
wouldn't be here. Oh, maybe
We
that's
would
fucked
we would
up.
have suddenly shown interest in colonization.
Yeah, wow.
No, the people who play Torval are the same people who have pet tarantulas.
Ugh.
Possibly.
Or they have pet rats. You ever have that friend in college that had a pet rat? It's like, this tells me a lot about you.
Skeever?
Ugh.
Skeever.
Was
We
that
love
you,
Skeever.
Baramir?
We love Skeever. He was a
Did
good
I
friend
just
of ours.
Make fun of you?
No, Ron Weasley. So let's see,
Scavers, right?
Scavers, thank you.
Scavers.
I think it was Scavers. Yeah.
But Scavers,
just a
spoilers
finger.
alert,
Just
Scavers
a
turns
finger.
out to be one of the bad guys, though.
That's
So
all
kind
that
of
was
goes
left
full
of it.
circle now. Rats are bad.
Padfoot? Littlefoot?
No,
Spoiler
no,
alert.
Wormtail, man. What's
Yeah.
wrong with
Wormtail?
you?
Bigfoot, get out the way. Leon
Littlefoot was a
Rui.
freaking brontosaurus.
Spoiler alert, a grown man has been living with a teenage boy for how many years now? Yeah, it's weird.
Good God. Well, it's okay.
Getting
Leon
awkward.
Rui may have gained 26 systems this week.
Hey!
So, we're doing our thing. So I think the big winners from this week, Ashling, Torval, Leon Rui. I think Antal had a pretty good week too. I think they had like 20-ish systems as well. So spreading the love. It's great. I was on browsing the forum, which is, I guess, something that people do. So I got a link here that I might put in the show notes. But Delane and their, honestly, some of the best, if you're going to do role play with Delane and their folks and how they play. It's so much fun seeing what they post. So if you guys haven't noticed, the CG was definitely won by Empress Lavigne Duval, not Archon Delane, for sure. Shocking, right?
Archon Delane declares victory.
But if you read this, spoiler alert, if you read this forum post, oh man, while the Empress dallied, the Empire fell. I will post this because this is a great read. It's so much fun. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mhm.
Delane folks are living their best life. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah.
All right. What is so what is it?
Well, you guys can read it. Essentially, it's a statement from the Raiders of Tortuga, where they discuss essentially the conflict happened. Emperor was really concerned with the system. They fought for it, and I guess Delane's folks were concentrated elsewhere and maybe took some systems from Delane. Quote here, I guess 10 systems possibly Delane took
From the Emperor?
From the Emperor, maybe. I'll let you guys read it. I think it's great. It's maybe it's all fiction, and I don't know what I'm reading right now. But definitely check it out. Yeah, that's on the forum. Other than that, we can go up the rest of the standings. Let's see. We've got Denton Petraeus at 11th place. Let's see. Archon Delane. I don't know where those 10 systems came from because it's definitely not in their point total for this week.
They only have 4 points plus.
Yeah. So that's 10th place for Delane.
It's average.
It's average. It's below. It is below average. Sorry, guys. Felicia Winters
below average.
Yeah. Which one are you looking at? Trax.
I have Nicey on the screen. Do you want to show the other one?
I've got Kruger's.
They disagree slightly.
They do disagree slightly.
Just on a couple of spots. Nicey's has this points totals comes out smaller on Nicey's, and I like that. It's just the way I like to roll. Like hundreds of points, I don't care about. Like, give me something where the points are less than 100 between all of them. That's an understandable thing.
I think they're both great guys. Continue to do the great work you're doing, but I mean, things really pick up in 8th place. Nakata Kane with an additional 21 points if you're looking at Nicey, or 380 points if you're looking at Kruger's. And we go up from there. 7th, we've got Antal. Those guys are doing it. Definitely up this week. A good chunk of points. 31 points. Nicey, 500 points. 521 points. Antal. You got Jerome in 6th. Still far below us. Really got to step it up.
Good.
In 6th place, they got 21 points this week in Nicey's and 489 points in Kruger's list, which I do like. Now, this is where things get interesting and the two lists kind of diverge. In Nicey's list, we've got Lee Young Rui in 5th place with an additional 30 points this week.
Increasing the Archer deficit.
Increasing the Archer deficit always. And Yuri Grom in 4th place with an additional 29 points. In Kruger's list, Yuri Grom is in 5th place, and Leon Rui is in the 4th place. The difference being, so 650 points additionally for Yuri Grom this week, 518 points additional for Leon Rui. This is gripping stuff. Edmund Mahon in 3rd place, 32 points added on.
I'm really glad that you explained that it was gripping.
Yeah. Arissa leaving you Duvall
starting
in 11th.
to sound like the college football playoff predictions.
Gripping stuff, guys. 2nd place, Arissa leaving you Duvall with 11 additional points this week. And, of course, on top, as always, should not hit my desk with a live mic, Aisling Duvall, 51 points. Additional this week. Nicest list. Nearly 1,000 points additional in Kruger's list. So tell me it's not exciting. 1,000 points nearly. Come on, that's much better than 51 points. But they're both great guys. Both lists.
Well, the only reason she got that many points is because she released new feet pics.
Oof.
Ugh. Oh, God.
But I heard they're like 30% off for the next 500 people that sign up to her.
Is that part of the sale? Hold on, let me check the. Hit my microphone.
Please,
summer sale.
Checking the summer sale.
Please don't log in. And
what is in the summer? No, I'm not. There's a summer sale on. There's a lot of stuff. Who cares?
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's your PowerPlay report, guys. That's the whole thing. So come visit us in the Discord.
Lovely.
We do have an op this week, so I'll be posting that later on. There's a system near Screw Space, Upsilon Andromedae. Is it Andromeda?
Upsilon?
Salon Andromeda.
It's there.
Your heart.
That's great. We're really close to the contest threshold, and that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to force the systems into contested or into conflict. So maybe we can get some PCZs even for a night or for a day. Maybe they work, maybe they don't work. Honestly, we have no clue. But we're gonna force them. So I'm there now. I'm trading some rare stuff. We'll probably be able to push it into conflict tomorrow. So or today if you're the listener on Friday. So come visit us on the Discord. We've got a whole PowerPlay hub. And thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Fantastic. All right, guys, it's time. The Frontier U happened.
Frontier U.
Doesn't work with the gap.
Left here. You.
I'm not ready to go back to college.
Lieutenant.
The FU happened, and first of all, I have to say, apparently this Jurassic Park game is worth like 3 Elite Dangerouses, but
God,
as far as their financials are concerned, but I don't get it. So at what point, I mean, isn't the whole point of Jurassic Park that the dinosaurs kill everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So does this game become a shooter at some point?
I sincerely hope so.
That's it's like
the trailer had a little like yeah, they like the trailer had a little moment of like, oh, like ominous music and stuff, and I was like, oh, so I'm right. So they do that, but then they didn't talk about it at all. It's like, oh, you can put, oh, what did they say? Now you have the option to not even fully fence your enclosures anymore. And I was like, great, we're just getting it started right away. Now they don't even have to de-electrify the fences because they're not there to begin with. Wonderful.
Now, what it is it lets you run your dinosaur park all the way into the 41st century, and then it just becomes that Space Marine tactics game that they made.
No, I like
versus dinosaurs.
I like the feed the dinosaur a kid kiosk that you can build. That's pretty good.
You put a coin in, and a kid comes falling out of the gotcha machine, and go catch it in your hand. Hold your hand out. Keep your palm flat.
Gonna be some well-fed mother freaking T-Rexes in those parks.
So eventually they talked about Elite Dangerous, and it was time to talk about the Panther Clipper. So I don't have any of the graphics because we don't matter, but we
matter. Don't be so hard on us.
We don't matter. So I'm just
you're right,
thank you to the Burr Pit because I've just pulled up their thing because he's got some good things that I can just pause here on his YouTube video and So the Panther Clipper, we did a little poll for what we thought the storage capacity would be, and even though I got the number wrong, I think I was right about I think it was truth adjacent, as I said before, about what was really going on with this thing.
I track. I think Daxi was closest in numbers, but Trax, you were the only one that called out a specific like lockdown modules that will be better than the normal ones for that ship.
Yeah, although I thought they were going to go with a size 9 compartment that would have and then a unique size 9 cargo rack, but no, they went with a restricted module, a restricted slot, like a military slot, but this one can only have cargo or fuel in it. And
basically a storage module.
And then the units that go in there, the cargo units that go in there can hold 50% more cargo for the same size. So 8 would be 384 instead of 256. So there's 2 of these. There's a size 7 and a size 8. I should scroll to where it talked about that particular part. Okay, there. So I think that's a clever and it's a more complicated way of doing it, and probably leads to some more interesting shipbuilding things, which I think I like. What do you guys think?
No, more specifically, what do you think, Chig?
I like it.
You heard it here first, folks. Chig likes it.
Chig likes it.
I think he's going to try to get to the rest of the show without saying anything.
It might just happen too.
I think that's his goal.
Literally, if you want my opinion on this, the idea of the size 9 was a good idea. The way that they did it, I think, is a little convoluted. What I wish that they would have done, and that's what we do, we just speculate, we complain about what they do and come up with a better way of doing it, even though everybody else agree with everybody, so it doesn't matter anyway. But what I wish that they would have done is just made it a new module, whether it was, more expensive or whatever, but this optimized cargo rack is the specialty thing that they came up with, right? That holds more. It can only go on that one slot. They should have just come up with a new cargo rack, an optimized cargo rack across the board. That way they could have actually pushed this thing's cargo even a little higher, but then every existing ship would have been a little bit higher, so people would have completely lost their ship if this ship was 1,500, or something like that. They could have, then every ship could have moved up a little bit. It would have been a real easy fix. Maybe this new module is a way to, maybe we'll get other optimized ones that can go in any slot from CG rewards or something in the future. But that's kind of the way I would have done it, because really, I mean, the thing that they're pushing and talk about the most is colonization, which is, space trucking. So giving pretty much every ship, a little more cargo wouldn't have hurt anything. That's my 2 cents.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think they might go the other way, though, and I'm now that I see what they did, they could make a optimized fuel tank that also, because fuel fits in those slots. So the tanks that go in there ought to hold 50% more too. And I'm thinking, I don't know, somebody's going to find some way to use that to get to Beagle Point in 2 hours or something, right?
Well, you talked about that. I'd like to throw it. For a long time, it's always bothered me that you couldn't store extra ammo instead of having to synth or go back and reload. Just have, be able to store ammo.
I'd love
this
that.
thing be cargo, fuel, or ammo. So then, I mean, that would be so convenient. You'd still have to load the ammo like your synth thing, so you don't just have a ton more ammo. You actually have to load it to your ship.
You go to your module panel and do it. Yeah,
exactly. Go to your module panel.
Say load from storage. I like that.
Oh, I want to be able to sub-target that module with the ammo in it.
That's the key right there.
Awesome.
That would
And it
blow me up
spills
real
out.
good.
You can see thousands of multi-cannon rounds spilling out.
or do they go off?
That would be
Just
cool. That'd be cool.
Explode.
Mhm.
Some kind of critical hit kind of thing. If you get a lucky die roll, it blows up. Blows half the
Or
ship
some
apart.
really crazy person is going to put fuel tanks in there and have a really insane plasma build on that.
Well, that's
The
You,
ultimate.
you get
plasma
to
slug
you
build.
get to shoot once because you can't turn around and shoot them again. So make it count.
I'm happy that they are using these specialized modules, because I think I called this out 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago on this podcast. And I was, come on, it was a terrible suggestion, and they did it. So taking the credit for it for that one. I think what would be cool is I do like the idea of these being special modules. So maybe it would be really interesting if they really wanted us to use a specific ship for trading or a specific ship for combat. Like we have those military slots. We talked about those. There's really no benefit with those military slots, right? There's not an added bonus. You put something there, it just fits there. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I would
It's
think
just
that would be an
limited what can
interesting.
go.
Right, that could be an interesting component later on if they say, hey, we've got these specialized storage slots, we have specialized military slots, and maybe we're going to add a percentage bump with a military slot or, for those specific modules. I don't know. That's for sure speculation, but I threw out a dumb suggestion before, so, maybe that adds some additional customization, right, to our shipbuilding, or maybe actually optimizes the older ships. Maybe we can upgrade them. But I do kind of like this. I mean, we're talking over 1,000 tons of cargo with a shield, and likely like a size 6 or 7 shield, reasonably, and still getting over 1,000.
Yeah, isn't it
tons of cargo.
1200-ish?
1238,
1238 total.
1238 or 28. So it's one of the two. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
So
Like, say you're
1,
doing a-
2. Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that. So the optionals on this thing, because we haven't said it yet, not everybody's watching the video. So a 1, a 2,
Yeah.
a 4, 2 5s, 3 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s. But one each of those last are the special super duper modules that
Nice.
can only take cargo or fuel and can have the optimized cargo racks.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I really like this because if you max it for cargo, that say you're doing like a BGS or a PowerPlay mission or whatever, and you took one of those missions where it's deliver 5,000 whatever in the name of democracy, right? That turns that from like a 10 to 15 trip thing by yourself to 5 if you're maxing cargo.
Mhm.
That's insanity, and I love it.
Mhm.
Deliver
yeah.
explosives in the name of democracy is my favorite mission in the game.
Same. It's
Awful.
bards too. He just delivers
Yeah.
them at a higher velocity.
Well, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll just point out that I've always been a fan of military slots. So I was, of course, a fan to see that they're expanding the mechanic towards cargo.
I will
Yeah.
be more of a fan of military
I'll
slots.
shut up and hide.
I will be more of a fan of military slots if I can put a shield in a military slot. Yes, I'm still on that horse. Yes, I'm going to
Mhm.
keep beating it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I-
always agreed with that. You gotta, it's totally stupid that a shield
That would
can't
make
fit.
sense. Yeah.
The problem with the military slot is that
Mm.
there was never anything, it has no bonus. It's only a
It's
restriction.
a restriction. Yeah, it's a restriction. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not like the luxury cabin can only fit on Gudamaya ships. Is that who it is? No, Saud Kruger ships.
So, yeah.
You are
it's-
Saud Kruger adjacent. It's fine.
The yeah, and now with this, like, sure, they're specialized slots, but it's specialized so that they can take something that can't fit anywhere else, right? That's the way to do it. The military slots don't create interest. It's friction. I don't know,
Mhm.
games need some friction, but I don't think it was fully realized it had a point that actually improved the gameplay at all.
It's a restriction based on the size of the vessel.
The military
A
slot?
military slot is an equivalent weight, not volume. Hence the restriction. You have the room for, like in the Chieftain, you have the weight capacity for the weight of a size 5 armor reinforcement, but the Chieftain doesn't have the volume for a size 5 cargo rack. That is the structure, in-game lore restriction of a military slot, which is why it has never bugged me.
Where'd you get that?
I made it up.
Okay. That's what I thought.
100%.
And to me, it makes perfect sense.
Well,
Was
why
said
Of
with
course
the
it does. You made
confidence
it
of
up.
a white man.
Slot, that's size 5 military slot.
But but that's the thing though. That makes sense though. Look at the ship. Like look at this. Look at the ships that have the restricted size. And I
It makes
think
sense. Like the Chief, Crusader, Challenger, they
Yeah.
all have that really skinny back.
Yeah.
The Viper 4 has a military slot.
Yeah.
Argument
it's a small
destroyed.
ship. It's a small
See,
ship though.
But it's not a weird size. It's not a weird shape.
It is
Yeah.
if you look at it compared to a Viper 3, because the Viper 4 just looks like a Viper 3 with a ship kit permanently on it. And so by that headcanon, you could fit that extra armor in those sides and everything else. Like there's room for it in there, but you're not going to be able to put a cargo rack in there. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I'm just saying it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We all come up with crazy headcanon for stuff, and you definitely, I like it.
I'm gonna go hide again.
No,
I hate military slots.
don't do it.
Yeah, I like the idea though because it is part of using your imagination to get around restrictions.
I like the idea more if I could put a shield in it.
If it had something that was a trade-off, a military slot, right? So okay, so if it was going to be interesting for shipbuilding, then it should be a trade-off, not just a restriction. That's a simpler way of saying it, right? If there was something that could only fit in a military slot, right? Like, I mean, there's no examples because it doesn't exist in the game, but yes, shields should definitely be able to fit in them, but you should be able to put something that can't fit if it's not a military set, like this, and like the luxury cabins. Okay, so this is correct. The Panther Clipper, potentially a correct way of doing restricted slots, also highlights how bad military slots were to begin with.
Affirmative.
I always enjoyed them.
Okay,
indeed.
Core
So what about-
internals.
I was going to say, let's talk core internals, because this thing's actually not terrible on paper.
Size 8 power plant and thrusters. 7
Yes.
FSD. There isn't anything bigger than 7 in the game, is there, for FSDs? Does anything have an 8? Nothing has an 8.
My fleet carrier does.
Your fleet carrier, of course.
Yeah,
it is.
I was going to say, I think canonically, if you get into the size 8 or higher FSDs, you have a carrier or a space station. So,
yeah. 5 for life support and sensors, and a 7 distributor and fuel tank. So
Better go
64T fuel, vanilla to begin with until you add a fuel tank. The size 7 distributor, and 8 thrusters. Okay, so yeah, I mean,
It's
same
fairly
distributor
similar.
as a Corsair, and like the other things. So, and it's powering 4 small, 4 medium, and 2 large hard points.
I am really excited to see what kind of a turret setup I can get going on this thing that'll just go forever like it does on my T10.
Actually, looking at this again, I had it wrong in my head when I must have like misremembered it or something. I think in my head I had 4 large, 2 medium, 4 small. So yeah, I mean, the 7 will be able to
that
power
would suck it dry.
The 7 will be able to power that easily, but that's less than I thought. I mean, really, a Type 10 has more damage than this. Just because it has 10 hard points doesn't mean it's gonna. Yeah, this is definitely going to fall short of a few ships as far as damage potential.
Well,
which I guess is like fine, but
which is fine.
Yeah, in the FU, they were describing it as it has more than enough firepower to put up a fight and even win a lot of battles. But if you're going against something that's competent, in my mind, like cutter, corvette, a few medium or small ships that know what they're doing, then it's going to struggle probably because it's still a gigantic ship. But for just like fending off pirates, it's more than good enough.
Probably two fighter bays. The room for pilot seats for gunners and 2 fighter bays. So I just most of the time with this kind of turret boat theory crafting stuff, the real issue is that you can't actually bring all your hard points to bear on a target anyway. So you can do some moderate damage to several things, but that's usually the way it works out.
Well, like take my Type 10 as an example. I have gimbaled stuff because I mean it's a T10, you have to, on the larges that are slung underneath and on the medium that's on the bottom, right? Every single hardpoint on the top is a turret, and it's a high capacity turret that has either an autoloader or a more damage mod on it. And that way, even if I can't bring all my guns to bear, those are literally always firing. And at least in my experience from flying that ship, it's something that A, players aren't even prepared for, and B, NPCs can't escape. Because multi-cannons have a pretty long range, even if you didn't engineer it for long range. So you're going to be able to do some, if not a lot, of damage, even if they're outside of the range where you can actually do full damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
most NPCs have unlimited bitch glitter, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why you sub-target their bitch glitter.
Clear cob, sub-targeting chaff.
The only turret I ever use is thermal vent beam, also on a turret. Otherwise, I never use turrets, like ever.
I freaking love turret theory crafting. I'm going to have a field day with this ship. I'm not even joking.
Well, you're a self-attested, lazy pilot. You don't like to play
Yeah.
with tips, and you like turrets. So yeah, that checks out.
And I want to lazily fly around while everything else kills it for me and I get the credit. What's wrong with that?
I think the big thing about this ship is it's going to be the best ship in the game for two things that I don't do because I find them mind-numbingly boring, and that's mining,
Right.
laser mining, and hauling. So yeah. I mean, I'll play with the ship. I'll own one, but I don't know how much I'll actually fly it.
I don't know. With the size FSD it has on it, I think this would make a pretty competent explorer.
Good.
It'd be like an exploration base, but still.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does have the
We're gonna
same
land
fuel
that
tank
thing
as
on
a.
planets. I mean,
You're gonna,
didn't
you're
say you
gonna
would
steer
land.
that thing in Super Cruise, you say?
There's that, yes.
But it does have the same fuel tank as a Beluga, which is the biggest fuel tank in the game. So
You can put
turn
fuel
this into an
tanks.
explorer. You can put a giant fucking fuel tank in it.
You could
at
fill the
400
fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's a
400
7 and an 8 in there that can't have anything except fuel for an explorer ship because you're not going to bring a lot of cargo.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
literally.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
I'm looking up
Alright.
the fuel on a T10 because I can't remember.
Somebody talk about the good things about it. Go.
it's got 4
how
utility
about-
slots.
It has only 4?
Really?
No.
Does it
I
need
didn't
more?
find that anyway.
When I took notes, they didn't mention utility slots that I heard.
They didn't mention that. I didn't know that. Did
I
that
must have
come
just
out?
hallucinated that.
I was
Oh.
hoping that it was going to be the first ship with like 12 or something like that. That
Yeah, I
would really
mean,
start to make
They should
The-
have more than 4. That'd
The
be
other
ridiculous.
larges have 8, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
T10
there is
has 8.
Yeah, I think all the
T10,
larges have
Cutter,
8.
Corvette, they all have 8.
That's
yeah.
8 all the way down. Yeah, don't listen to me, folks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to
I'm
need 8.
hoping it has more. I'm hoping that this will be the first ship with 10 or 12.
That would be awesome, but they didn't mention it, so my hopes are low. It has a tongue.
It does.
By the way,
it
Oblivion,
doesn't look
you need
quite
to
like-
post.
Not.
It doesn't look quite like the AI tongue that we made to terrorize Audaxius, but it does have a walk-up ramp
Yeah.
that is a little bit underslung to the left side of the
Yeah.
sort of center line of the ship.
And horror aside, I was amazed at how well the AI actually rendered that. It did a great job of a shit thing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those who aren't watching, there is a GIF we have of the Panther Clipper, the shot that FDev has given everyone where it's landed and there's people walking by the ramp. Except instead of a ramp, there's a
put it on
gigantic
the screen.
effing tongue moving around, and I hate everything about it.
Right. Credit goes to Barrymore on that, by the way. That he was the AI creator. I just kept it.
It's glorious.
I hate it.
Somebody forward that to the general
I-
chat. I want to
you
watch
know,
them explode.
And I've really questioned the integrity of this community when I am the only guy hampering on the fact that it looks like the Nostromo from Alien, which is just classic science fiction. And
That looks
apparently I'm not the only uneducated swine around here because no one's making that conclusion, drawing that conclusion. So maybe you need to review your whole sci-fi classic repertoire.
I thought the Type 8
It's
looked a little
the
bit more like it.
Nostromo.
Dude, you like military slots. Your opinion
do.
is invalidated.
I do. I like
Well, I
the
don't know.
idea.
Now, on the fun locked, this is the only thing that they talked about, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I-
F unlocked, right? Fun
Down
Yeah.
locked.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were missing Arf's enthusiastic presentations.
What about
Did they
speed?
clone
Did
a mini
anybody?
version of him? Is that what they did? The
Was
new
that-
guy?
It's a mini version of it.
They just
Some mini
they
Arthur.
decanted a new Arthur. He's a little smaller because he hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah.
I'd actually forgot Arthur had left. And so as soon as I turned on the FU, it was a little jolting going, what? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Did anybody get his name? Does he have a name? I didn't even catch
I think he probably has a name.
You think so?
I'd rather not know, though. You know,
That is
what I
the
mean?
extent of my knowledge I'm realizing
Yeah.
right now. So that's what I decided to say.
I thought he did a pretty
I-
good job, though. He kept things moving.
He
It'd be
did.
fun.
And I sincerely hope that on his way out, Arf is like, hey, there's this podcast called The Loose Screws. You should go listen to it.
Nah,
Nope.
Just steer
Nope.
clear.
nope.
He's long forgotten about us friends.
Thick Tharagoid Butte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting everyone ever forget what we've done.
So, anybody speculate on speed on this thing?
Yeah,
8.
slow AF.
Sub Type 9.
I
200
think it will be
meters- 200
faster than a
meters a
Type
second.
9.
You can engineer it to 225. That's all you're going to get.
I can't wait to see how it
What,
turns.
what
Like you
is
got to
the-
plan a day ahead.
What is the thruster on a Type 9?
My call on this, because I think it's going to possibly weigh a little less than a Type 10, because a Type 10 has armor like everywhere. I think that in a straight line, this will be a little bit faster than a T10, but will turn worse than a T10. Because once you fully engineer a Type 10's thrusters, you can actually turn pretty quick. It's just the mass catches up with you, and then you keep turning.
Hmm.
See how long it takes to make those macro adjustments as you're coming into the mail
Yeah.
slot. That's going to be fun.
FDev even hit the freaking mail slot on their way out in the promo video that they were showing during the stream. It was hysterical.
I mean, the pictures of the thing in flight, I mean, the thrusters look impressive and they look powerful. So I'm
Oh, they
hoping
do.
it's
They
not
look great.
super,
Yeah.
super bad. But
Well,
it only
the
makes sense for it to be
cutter-
slow.
yeah, for what it's worth, the Cutter is the only ship in the game with a size 8 thruster, like this has.
Yeah.
All the other larges have a 7.
Yeah.
So they could
Large
get it. They
ship.
could do a cutter like get it moving in a straight line kind of situation.
I don't think this will be as fast as a cutter, but I think it's going to be faster than some of the other large ships. I think it'll surprise people.
I think
Because-
it'll probably end up being right there with the other large ships.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that with a hauler, especially a huge one like this, you're going to want to be able to get away sometimes. And I think that's the whole point of it being able to go fast in a straight line.
Like the cutter.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's pretty comparable to the cutter. If you look at the core, I feel like the core internals all the way down. It seems
Yeah.
pretty comparable.
Mhm.
And that means
Um,
that I don't have to get the Imperial rep to get a cutter. Ha Lark wins again.
You need to know the mass comparison.
I still can't believe you haven't done that.
I don't have a
Cutter
freaking
has
Corvette either, man.
bigger- Has bigger sensors and life support, I think.
That's key right
Yeah.
there.
So
Well, the real
technically, the
question-
Cutter has larger core modules, a couple of larger core modules.
Real
Well, the thing
question
is, the cutter
who's
has
gonna
to have
spend
better.
arcs on it.
Yeah. So let's see. What's our early access? 22nd July.
Nice.
Who's spending the arcs?
Who's spending the arcs?
Me.
Cool. Me.
No,
Definitely me.
not me.
Not me.
No, sir.
No chance.
Half of
Also,
us.
I want to note that the cutter has to have really good sensors, because how else are the people flying it going to know who they're better than when they're flying that ship?
Well, they haven't been able to figure that out correctly so far. So, guess that argument didn't work out. Got him.
Got him.
Delane
You know.
declares victory again.
Fatality.
Well, so 50% of the podcast cast are gonna pay for this. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be one that I do not buy early. I don't
Someone,
have
you
any
still,
reason to buy
are you
this
still,
ship.
hold on, Bear, are you still day trading? Can you check if Frontier stock has been affected by what we just said at all?
Tanked. Absolutely tanked.
Nosedive.
After
Yep.
hours trading.
But don't listen to me because I would never. I just don't fly ships like this.
Yeah, not my
No, you
gig.
fly Mambas without Cytos.
Yeah, Saito's not right for the Mamba. One day, maybe there will be some cause to. I don't know. I kind of think I probably won't have cause to get one and try to see what it's like to do the combat thing in it, because that's not that fun. I can just climb into somebody else's and fight her out of it. That would be what I would think is fun. So
We're
when
gonna have-
my interaction will be like that, I'm sure.
Well, we're going to have a Loose Screws Frog Gig night, and you need to bring your.
Oh,
Good.
well,
Okay, I'm with
I'm gonna
Daxie
log
on
in.
this. It's not a frog.
It's not a frog. Jesus Christ.
Not as passionate, but it's not a frog.
No,
It's
nobody
not
said
a
it's
frog.
literally a frog. We're saying it
Liter-
looks
it's-
exactly like a frog. Big difference.
Like a frog. In that, like, a frog, like many other animals, has a roughly rectangular body shape that is flatter than it is long. Like that is the limit of the
Now, wait a
comparison.
minute. I know the problem. You live in Arizona. You never have clouds. So you don't look up at the sky and go, that cloud looks like a sheep. That cloud
you didn't have
looks like a
frogs
this."
either.
No,
You
no.
look-
They're amphibians. They're not
That
going to
was
make
funny.
it very long in the desert.
Oh no, the only frogs we do have are the kind that people harvest that incredibly intense psychogenic
toads.
drugs from. Toads.
those
We
toads.
do have those toads.
Suddenly, Daxie makes more sense.
It's funny. Just
I
like
bet-
it's just like hoagies. I actually don't know what frogs are, and that's what I'm so pissed about.
I bet if you licked one of those toads and looked at the panther clipper, you would
Yeah.
swear it's a frog.
Oh, I would swear it's anything you want it to be.
It would look just like this animated thing with the tongue that I have here.
Oblivious, if your Panther Clipper isn't named Licking Toads, I'm going to be disappointed.
Licking toads.
He's buying that domain right now.
So they showed a
Looking
few
tough.
paint jobs, and they talked about this owners club decal that they're going to make.
Yeah, what's that all about?
It's the owners club.
Yeah, that's
That's
Because
really
it's
cool.
special.
So do you put it on your panther clipper? I don't
No, it's
Yeah.
my other ship is a Panther Clipper. That's what it is.
That's what they should make. Another decal. That's my other ship. They showed us some paint jobs and some ship kits that give it the little narwhal tooth. Lark, are
Fun.
you putting semicolons in the chat? Is he doing that on
I'm
purpose?
meaning
or is
to.
he-
I had to use a keyboard key for my push to talk because I don't have my PC mouse out, and it's right next to some other keys. I'm sorry.
I was like, is he trying to tell me something?
He has
Okay,
something
anyway.
very important to say.
The ship kit looks very handsome, and it's got the pointy thing on. It's got the pointy thing on it, just like the old wireframe. I guess it wasn't wireframe by the time the Panther Clipper was in the game, but I haven't seen a green one yet, and I haven't seen a pink one yet, and both of those are requirements. Does that change anybody's mind about buying it on release day?
No, because it'll come
No.
out, and I'm going to put my Panther Clipper Owners Club decal on my Sidewinder.
If it came out green, I'd buy Daxie one.
Can you refund a purchase that somebody else made for you and then get the money?
Not in this country.
Damn.
I believe that's called a gift receipt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe that's called money laundering.
Frontier, if you're listening, gift receipts for ARCs, please.
You know, randomly something I wish that they would do, FDev. I mean, if you want to build hype for stuff, is start putting like these new ships, start having them appear in game for NPCs first. I mean, I think it's weird.
Oh,
None of
yeah,
new
man.
ships,
That would be
Yeah.
none of the new
Yeah.
ships are even
That's not
NPCs
bad.
yet. But you
Right.
start releasing these where all some people start seeing new ships and it's like, what the fuck is that? And then
Yep.
Really?
Don't
start
announce
building
them, just
hype.
let them show up.
And they could do
That
the
would
same
be-
thing with ship kits, having those appear, on some NPCs, prior to them being released, and they'd start seeing stuff on the forums. I'm sure that there'd end up being, forum, whatever that you call those forum topics, of just things that people are finding in game and people getting
Mhm.
excited, and they know which ones to release at that point and which ones they could charge more for if people are going gaga for stuff. And it would just be, I mean, imagine if this clipper all of a sudden you were coming up to a station like a month ago and you saw this thing coming
Right.
out of the mail site, you'd be like, what the fuck is that? And then bam, you have
Imagine the hype.
your
That's-
hype right there.
Ooh.
I'd be taking so many screenshots of it going by that you could make a movie out of it.
That's a good one.
Wow.
So that one's
Wow.
free, FDev.
See, the problem is that if they gave NPCs any of the new ships, then it would fix the BGS, and they just can't have that.
Uh,
God, it has been like a year and a half.
Are you saying that the BGS was an inside job?
Yes, that's
I
what
knew
I'm
it.
saying.
I knew it.
some kind of a job.
I knew it.
You can put such a big whiteboard with red string connecting things in a Panther Clipper.
Good God.
Okay, but how come the new ships aren't on any NPCs? What the fuck is going on? It's been a year and a half.
So strange.
The guy that programmed that.
Were you just yawning?
Oh no, that was it was a like a noise to
It's one of them
communicate that I'm
toads.
thinking.
It's
Yeah,
one of them toads.
it was a more excited
So that sound doesn't come out very often. Got it.
The guy that knew that
It's a
code
Larry
quit.
David.
The guy
It's a
that knew
Larry
that
David.
code quit. Guys, come on. Like
Knew how to change the NPCs.
they had a redundancy. What do you want him to do?
NPCs don't have arcs.
Yeah, they like. Man.
Well, how are the NPCs supposed to afford these new ships when every time one scans me, he says, "Looks like my children are going hungry tonight"? I crack myself up.
Yeah.
No
looks
kidding.
Looks like Baramir's portfolio is tanking tonight.
Womp womp.
Wah,
Yep.
wah, wah.
You know what though? There is something about just completely randomizing it. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately, and to see some of those NPCs walking around the city, they look ridiculous. Each and every one of them, because they're just completely randomized for the most part. So just randomize the NPCs we see, make them look ridiculous. There's a ton of paint jobs that we only get to see like once a year. Like with the sale going on right now, the summer paint jobs, you never see them. Just throw them out there.
Procedurally generated NPCs.
How hard could it be?
Don't
I
say
mean, they're
that.
already procedurally Yeah. I
Yeah,
do
should
like
be.
knowing that NPCs are PowerPlay ships, though, because I can recognize their paint sometimes from farther away than my sensors, depending on the ship.
Yeah, I'm not calling for full anarchy, but I'm saying let's get some randomization in there.
It's weird that they don't do that.
No, see, the problem is the way FDev does things. If they did do randomization on that, then at some point you would see a keelback coming into dock, except for instead of the waggly engines it has on the side, it would have the Panther Clipper engines on the side for no reason, and still just land on the medium pad and disappear into it, clipping into everything.
You can't say like, no, they shouldn't add this feature because this game has had bugs and does have bugs. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that won't work because when it doesn't work, something will happen. Like,
sure you can.
I mean, well, I'm okay. You can say
Mark can say anything.
It's not an argument,
and usually does.
I'd love to talk more about this, but my watch just said I need to stand up. So.
Is there any more on the Panther Clipper or in this show? Clark has to stand up.
And the watch doesn't tell you to sit back down, so I don't know what he's going to do now.
No, I'm back.
Amazing.
I got a random one on.
Okay.
You guys listen to Live Radio? They talked about engineering stuff. This week. Okay, and they just spent like a long time, and it amazes me. That people complain about engineering and call it a grind, where a specific game loop is literally hauling hundreds of loads of cargo to build a station. But I mean, Alec Turner mentioned us by name just a little bit, saying how he was puzzled by us saying that we're shocked that people aren't out in G5 stuff all the time. And I just want to clarify to him through this medium that we typically preface that by saying people in this game are playing such different games, and we play a different game, so therefore we're surprised that other people do things like that. So I just we're not shocked that people do that. It's just we play a different game. and
Yeah.
other people are playing a different game.
Yeah, I actually thought that was the point he was making, but it didn't come out as clear as what you had there. He was also, because he talked about it after the show, really fascinated. Jan tracks how you always dismount your hard points all the time.
Yeah,
Yep,
regularly, so
Yep.
that I don't have to
Yep.
get him off that ship later. Yeah.
Yep. He found
We're
that
our
fascinating.
own loadout managers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
too find
obviously
that
the
fascinating.
the whole point of the segment on their show was the variety of perspectives,
Hmm.
which, you know, obviously we're not saying those don't exist. It was just like, once you've tasted the sweet, sweet nectar of G5 dirty drives, I personally would rather crash into a station and kill myself than
Then fly something
fly
without it.
one
Yeah.
out of a mail slot and back in to land and then engineer them if I forgot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you make a very, very good point that, you know, but this is a now a very complicated Venn diagram, right? Where there are people who think engineering is a grind and haven't touched it and ask questions like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And other people who say, oh yeah, but you can just sample it if you want to, or just do the grind once and then you can just sort of maintain it. And all these things are technically true. And then there are also people who haul, and I guarantee you're right. There is somebody in the middle of that Venn diagram who is like, hauling is my game, Trailblazers rules, and also, is engineering worth it? Because it seems like a grind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely, there are people
Right.
out there probably not listening to my voice, because who gives a shit about me? But
right.
But the whole point came back to it not being able to let somebody borrow,
Yeah.
loan in the Vanguard an engineer ship.
Yes.
Is
And I
that
was
whole
heading
point
into
you-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I stole
Yeah,
your
no,
thunder.
it's fine. But I mean that was the big thing, is because I put some more thought into that. Like, okay, first the borrowing thing, to me, I'm sorry, that just seems. Okay, I'll just say, to me, I find that just silly, because if you can loan it to somebody, you can just loan it to them again and loan it to them again. Just sell engineered ships at that point, or give them permanently. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
loaning is just, you know, it is what
Seems
it is.
less
It
complicated, that's
would
for
just
sure.
add friction to it. You just have to keep loaning it over and over again. If you got a friend that you want to give a ship to, just keep loaning it to them. But
Yeah.
I thought about this whole concept of why, you know, you can't sell engineered modules, can't sell engineered ships. And, you know, Daxi earlier, you know, was talking about how his military slot, he writes his own headcanon kind of thing. And
Yeah.
for me, what it boils down to is it's actually kind of an in-game canon. I mean, you have to unlock these engineers and gain their trust for them to build these ships for you. So for you to turn around and sell these ships to just anybody is, in a way, breaking that trust. So that's kind of my headcanon on why I could explain why you couldn't do that, because that is the engineer's job to do that. So I think another way to do this and reduce the grind is just the ability to sell engineering mats. That could become a game loop for people, an auction house, just to sell your, you know, your all of your stuff, your antimony and your manufactured stuff and your data, that stuff selling game. Then the only grind that people would really have to do is go through the process of unlocking the engineers, which in game is like you're gaining the trust of those guys and they're hooking you up with this special stuff. So that's my explanation for it. And I think that it's about as reasonable as any one that anybody could come up with, to tell you the truth.
And the unlock
Except
of engineers is like the best game. Like, that's the best quest chain, sort of the only quest chain in the entire game.
Indeed.
I think somebody put it as succinctly as that on Lave. That was really well said. Like, yes, that is the quest chain.
100%.
I
That's a
should
good
also
one.
point out that it wouldn't be an auction house, because if you've looked at the actual models of the stuff we're collecting, it would be like a pick apart jalopy jungle, bring your own tools to get the mats scenario.
I literally have no idea what you just said.
Jalopy Jungle is a junkyard where you can go get
Yeah.
used parts off junk cars to put in your car to make it work.
Also,
That
solid
sounded like
alliteration.
Collect mats.
That's-
I'm saying your mats. You're just selling mats.
Yeah, look at
Sounded
the
like a-
3D model of those mats. It's junk.
They're broken chunks of spaceships. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
The
That
joke
sounds-
works.
Several
Shut
of
up.
them do have like wires hanging out the side of them. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Okay, I caught up.
I don't know. That would be a fine compromise if they don't want to put engineered modules in the Vanguard bank.
Have the Vanguard
Then-
bank be engineering mats.
Yeah, and I guess then you could put A-rated ships and modules in there for use by the squadron, and then they take them and then they take out some materials, and that would work, I guess. And then they still have to do the quest chain to unlock the engineers, which is still fun. I guess I would be okay with that. I just think like if there's no way to do any, I don't care. Personally, I don't care if it's borrowing or just withdrawing. I wanted to find the right bank word. Yes, I don't care if it's borrowing or withdrawing, but if there's no way to do anything with engineering with that, it's a dead feature to me, and I think they should just leave it at home. And maybe since this Panther Clipper update was supposed to be the same as the Vanguard's update, but now Vanguard's is going to be sometime in August, maybe they delayed it because they heard the overwhelming response that if you're not including engineering in this thing, go fucking home. Don't even show up. That's my back of my mind hope that like Vanguard's is delayed because they went, oh shit, we got to put engineering in this somehow.
How can we make this balanced?
Yeah, I
How
mean,
can I
feel
reach
free to
these
take your
kids?
time. Yeah, take your time and get it right. No disrespect. It's just like,
How can I
yeah.
reach these kids? The average age of the elite player base is not 12.
How do I reach these kids?
How do I reach these kids?
It's like that.
Oh my God.
It's like that meme of Principal Skinner from The Simpsons. Am I the one who's wrong? No, it's the kids who are wrong.
It is the
Children.
It is the commanders who are the
Is
problem.
it? Yep.
I don't know.
I
It
had a
made sense to
super
me.
old man moment today at work. I bumped into
Oh,
a UPS guy who used to work for me way back in the day. I didn't realize how far back it was because I saw him and I start talking to him. He's like, "Oh my God, how the hell have you been?" I'm like, "Good." I said, and this kid used to be like the wispiest of blonde hair, and he had this really dark brown beard. So I wasn't sure if it was him until I started talking to him. and then he goes, "Oh, what are you saying? I'm old?" I said, "Well, I didn't say it was gray hair. I mean, how old are you? How old are you?" And he goes, "I'm 47, dude." I'm like, holy fuck. I thought I still saw him as the 22-year-old kid who worked for me 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw myself off a
Yikes.
bridge. So random story. There you go.
Yep.
No, thanks. That was great.
I have a
cool.
story like that too. I was talking about some 80s music in another Discord, and only one person knew the songs I was talking about. Everyone else was like, "What the frick are you? Who is that?"
That's why you got to hang around in elite discords, man.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen that on.
absolutely.
I haven't seen that on Snapchat. I don't know what it is. I'm 15.
Snapchat.
Is Snapchat out of date by now, though?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Snapchat's long gone, my
Very
man.
much.
Oh,
I think Snapchat
Yeah.
is
Problem-
just used for taking pictures of hoagies these days.
wow.
Is
I
that
wouldn't
a
be able.
euphemism?
I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is. They could give me a captcha of pictures of hoagies, and I would fail it.
Except the way they said it to their friends was probably, "I couldn't skibbity that Riz."
Oh God.
So
You're
things
using that wrong.
Redactus does not know what a hoagie is, what a
Syntax.
cloud is.
The list keeps growing.
Yeah, just keeps growing.
Shit.
Non-psychedelic frogs. Is there anything else we should put in this episode?
There's a sale. There's some good stuff in this. So they pretty much everything is going on sale on the Elite Store. So go
Everything's
check
on
it
sale.
out. Everything's
Fantastic.
on sale, including my favorite summer paints. So go and get those because you never see them. Once a year, you get to buy them, and that's it.
They
Wait,
have to
summer
like
every
how
summer?
these first.
Summer fruit.
Mm.
It's good, guys. They're great paint jobs. That's what I have on my DBX from my wonderful screenshots during DS3. But literally everything is on sale. And here's a question. We don't have to discuss this. I'm just going to throw this out there. It's a bit rhetorical. Why the heck are those standard pre-built ships still available? Like the Cobra Mark V or the Type 8. Why is the standard version of that still in the Elite store?
What do you mean?
Okay.
Because screw you, that's why?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Like-
don't know.
I think because money.
Because money.
Oh,
That
because
seems like
they're
a good
available
bet.
for credits?
Because they're available for credit. So why I'm on the store? It seems seems interesting.
Because as I was so resoundingly chastised for not realizing, people find sincere actual value in having a zero rebuy. Apparently, even if it's
True.
coming with E-rated modules.
True.
Because that's the only thing that you would be getting for your ARCs if you bought the standard now after pre-access was over.
And you know what? This rhetorical conversation also got me to remember that there is a new player experience, and they do have a screen now during the new player experience that allows you to purchase a ship right before you get into the
Nice.
game. And that'll
That
be
doesn't
there.
feel good.
But hey, it's a jump start.
Yeah.
It's a jump start? That's not great.
I think it feels fine because it's still not Star freaking Citizen.
It's completely optional. The Sidewinder is there for you. Take it whenever you want it.
Have the Sidewinder or buy a ship.
Yeah, wow. Cobra Mark V Standard, it's on sale. Normally still 16,520 ARCs.
So weird.
On sale for 9,912. What do you get with
Is that
this?
like
I'm
$10 or something?
fascinated by this. Open the details. We get the Cobra hull, which, by the way, you can buy for in-game credits for what? What could that possibly cost? 5 million new? I have no idea.
Checking.
It comes with 2 1F pulse lasers. It comes with just all the E-rated modules. It's empty. It has a C-rated shield generator, a couple of cargo racks. It's got a fucking docking computer and a super cruise assist.
But it's on sale.
But
Well, that means Daxy's going to get it, doesn't it?
Already did.
My
it's
man.
a pre-built ship. So yeah, I mean this is worth at a 40% discount still basically 10,000
Just under
ARCs.
2 million. Just under 2 million credits in game.
Which ship is it? Cobra
The Mark
5?
V.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
this
to
is
buy a new one, it's
loaded with
2 million credits.
Yeah.
Just
2
under 2
million
million.
credits. So
Yeah.
you'd pay about 10,000 ARCs, which is a 40% discount for the ability to basically deploy it for free at any station and have zero rebuy. But of course, it's going to have a rebuy because you're going to replace these E-rated modules.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then you can redeploy. You can. I mean, that's the only thing is the fake fast travel of being able to deploy it anywhere by destroying it in the other location. I can't, like, the last time we talked about this on the show, everybody acted like I was the idiot for not thinking that has real value. This doesn't have real value.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
Zero
Not to
rebuy
us.
is nonsense.
No.
I do not believe that people care about this zero rebuy thing. I do not believe it. It's such horse shit. Or if they sincerely do, they've been hoodwinked.
It has to have some value. If it's a perk, a PowerPlay perk, I mean, you know.
It's got some value in the very early game, but I feel like we do a great job of ferrying our new players to riches so quickly because of the events we have. Is just come hang out with us and you'll make tons of money. It quickly becomes not an issue. But if you're maybe a brand new player, maybe
I don't think
you're not listening to this podcast, so you don't care about what we have to say because you're not in our Discord, and you're all alone in this big galaxy.
I think
Maybe
the number of
I
tickets they
think
get
it's-
from new players who blow up without a rebuy, they're trying to eliminate that by, I don't know. I'm
They're
grasping
trying
at
to
straws here.
eliminate that while simultaneously gaining money.
Yeah.
Perfect plan. Step 3, profit.
And to be
Literally the
yes,
only
I
danger.
just think it's a very small percentage of the community that doesn't listen to this podcast. So
You think only a small percentage of the community doesn't listen to this
Yeah.
podcast?
Doesn't
yeah,
listen
got
to
it.
this.
it's kind of the whole conversation is kind of moot, you know.
well,
the
to be
top
fair, we don't
1%.
listen to us either. So
Yeah.
Hey, the Mandalay standard is less. It's only 8,260 on a 40% discount.
Oh,
That's
la,
about
la.
17 million.
Why is it
almost
less?
18 million to buy.
Why is it
I'm
less?
sorry, guys,
The
but at
Type
this
8
point,
standard, same price as Mandalay.
Magic.
Now that could
What,
be
Lark?
valuable if you're out in the middle of the black and you're exploring with your mandala. Maybe you forgot to bring it with you. You could destroy it and deploy it somewhere.
Oh, how'd I get out here if I forgot my mandalay and I'm already way out in the back?
I've been
Someone-
staring.
and
Someone somewhere is gaming the system successfully with this, and they just haven't taught us how. So I think we're the ones in the dark here.
The
All I
Python
know
Mark
is I've been
II
staring
standard
at
is
that
still
stupid
available.
tongue Panther Clipper gif so long that all I can hear in my head now is blah, 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 blah.
All right, but go look at the ship kits. Go look at the kits and the bundles and the things you can put in your ship. Those are the stuff. That's the stuff that's worth it to me. And there's a lot of it, and it's all for sale. So go check it out.
Yeah, do it, you baby.
Yeah.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Can
we're
I go
done.
to
Wait a
bed?
minute.
All right.
One last
Wait a
thing.
minute. Okay,
Why
choose
don't
one
they
more
make
last thing.
Why don't they
Hey,
make
Grandpa.
No, I just thought about this. Why don't, if this is important to people, and it's not necessarily a buy to win thing, make every single ship purchasable with arcs.
Well,
the
they're
basic
working their way
ship.
through it. The jump starts
every
are all
single
that.
one. All the new ships, but I mean all of the ships. So if you want a ship, you could never but do a rebuy again, and you spend like $3 for any basic hull, where you avoid the rebuys for life. Even though you can get away with that, if
Well,
you're PowerPlay
yeah.
or
That's worth
anything
$3
else.
to $5
But
for me. I don't
throw it
care.
out there. Throw it
Here's
out
what we
there.
got. We got
I'd buy
Chieftain.
that for an ARX.
There's an AX Chieftain you can buy. There's a luxury Beluga, luxury transport Beluga you can buy. There's a Bounty Hunter Vulture.
Okay.
What else is the old ships?
The
Asp Explorer.
Yeah.
There's a Type 9. There is a regular Python. There's a Krite Mark II, and then there's the Mamba.
I know how
there,
you'll
there's
make
more than this though.
everybody's
There's
head explode.
DBX and stuff. They aren't showing up here. There's a
I know what they need
DBX
to
one
do.
too.
PvP meta fertilance. Put that on there for real money.
Meta freelance.
Kill me
It's like
now.
a plasma rail prismatic Fertilance, fully
How-
G5.
Some
to
new player
prove-
wouldn't be able to hit shit with
Yeah.
ever.
How
It'd
to
be so
prove you've
good.
never had an original thought in your life? You buy that ship.
No, how to prove that what they're doing is not pay to win. That's what they
Ugh.
should have released like day one when they announced all this like pre-built stuff, and everybody had like a 4-day long fit about it.
Yeah.
While we worked out whether we were okay with it. They should have been like, all right, here is a G5 plasma rail dual shield cell bank prismatic FDL for money. Win.
God, we would have been blowing
It's
up.
not
Anyone who
paid to-
hasn't, anyone in the game who hasn't already built and flown that ship on their own, go buy it and then win, and you will have paid to win. Not a single time would that ever happen, and the argument would have been over.
Yep. Help us
Shame
prove
on
our
us.
point, FDev. Do it. God, people's heads would explode.
Shame on us.
I'd actually love to see it. Now that it probably would have given me pause for a moment, but I think we would have all come to the same conclusion. But that would be such a great way to have. I mean, the conversation's really over by now. Everybody's kind of accepted the pre-built thing. It's just, anyway, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Now,
Don't
Okay,
even
now
ask
am
it.
I allowed to end the show?
Don't even ask it.
Just do it.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. I hope you had fun.
more things.
Wait, one more thing. Wait,
Everybody
wait,
say
one more-
goodbye.
Wait, goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Bye,
Wait, one more
everyone.
thing.